Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great. I am so excited for today's video. We're basically going to be making this top from scrap fabrics. Yes, you heard that right. Scrap fabrics, and basically it's just made from different materials. As you can see, there's different colors. It's so beautiful and so custom. So if you do decide to do this, just go crazy with your colors. I absolutely love this, and I'm going to link the brand that inspired me to do this down below. It's a brand named Carlotta. I think what they're doing is great, using dead stock materials to make their clothes, so check them out. And yeah, for my top, I used 4 different pieces of scrap fabrics. This yellow t-shirt was a remainder from my Urban Outfitters DIY. The brown was from my pearl button-up top. The red was from my split t-shirt, and the mustard was also from the split t-shirt. So basically what I'm going to do is start with the mustard kind of top, and I took a one shoulder top that I love the fit of, and I'm going to use this as a template. So I decided I'd use 2 pieces of fabrics to create my bodice. You will see what I mean in a second. I'm just flattening out my top to make sure she fits right in there, and I'm only going to trace from the armpit place. I don't know what to call it, but from right underneath the armpit, because I wanted the top to be different colors. So I just traced the shape on both sides, and once I was satisfied with this shape, I was ready to go, baby. And I'm just going to join all those dotted points using my piece of chalk. That way I can have a solid line to work with. And this took no time at all. This is so easy. You can literally do this in your sleep. So I did this on both sides. Obviously, you want to have a datum that will be the precedent for all your boyfriends. That way everyone knows how to treat you. So once I had my 2 lines, I did decide to add half an inch of seam allowance on the side. And this is because for this top, you do need seam allowance. You're going to be cutting it up, and the more fabric you have, the better. So I did this on both sides because I wanted them to feel equally treated, unlike the system of the America that just mistreats us Black people. So I didn't want to do that. And after I'd added in my 1/2 inch seam allowance on both sides, I was now ready to cut. So I only cut through the second line because, as I said, that seam allowance is going to save your grades and your marriage and your children, and everyone else will just come running back to you. So make sure you include her. I also decided to add in the top bit because I didn't know how to cut this without it. So I added it in, added my 1/2 inch seam allowance, did this on both sides, obviously. And once I was satisfied with how everyone looked in the lineup, I was going to cut out this piece of fabric, and I'd basically have the bottom bit of my top. So I took my sweet time cutting because, baby girl, there is nothing else to do but live life at this moment. And now for the top bit of my bodice, I decided to use this brown color, and I'm basically tracing the top that I didn't trace. Remember, for the other piece, we traced from the armpit hole, from the bottom of the armpit, and now we're just doing the kind of shoulder bit that will be covered. If it's making sense, you can see what I'm doing. So I just traced that out. Once I was satisfied, I made sure to go in and correct her because she was talking back. I added in a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Again, this seam allowance is your life savior. They will be there for you through the divorce. They're going to help you find a new husband. So just respect the seam allowance. So I just traced it around my shape, and once I was satisfied with everything, I'm going to cut out this bit of fabric, and you will basically have the top bit of your bodice. So this is super simple to do. The thing with this patchwork top, it needs you to be able to piece the pieces together. So if your life is in shambles right now and you can't figure out what goes where, you might not be the right person to do this DIY, but basically just figure it out and just know what goes where, what you think looks good, and you'll be good to go. So now you'll have 2 pieces of each piece of fabric, if that makes sense, and we're going to work on one piece, basically 2 pieces, which will form the front. Sorry, not one piece. And I went ham and crazy with this. There is no method, no formula, there's no right way to do this. Just do what makes your heart happy. And I just randomly drew random curves because I wanted this to make my top look nice and unique. And you can follow my shapes if you want. If you feel like you need guidance and you want it to look like mine, fine. Feel free to do what I'm doing. And I made sure for all the lines, I added in a tiny bit of seam allowance. So now looking back on this, I'm not sure if this really helped, because I feel like the seam allowance matters on the fabric you're cutting out from, not where you're cutting from, if that makes sense. So you can add in the seam allowance or not. It's honestly up to you. So once I traced my seam allowance and I was happy with her, I took out the pins because it was time to get rid of the yellow bit and finesse the top bit and make her love and accept herself. She needed a pep talk. So I basically cut out the bottom bit because I wanted to have this beautiful shape, and this would be the base of the top of the bodice. It's all going to make sense, just bear with me. And this is what the brown piece of fabric looked like after. I then placed her on top of my yellow bit, pinned them together so that I could see how they were meshing and fitting together and if their life was working out together. And I basically traced the shape of the brown bit of fabric onto my yellow bit of fabric. So you want to do this so that you can cut out curves and lines that will fit perfectly together to form one top. So once I traced out everything, I got rid of the pin, got rid of the brown bit, and now I had this line, and I'm basically adding in a seam allowance because I feel like this seam allowance is necessary because you are going to be joining pieces together. At this point, do add a seam allowance. So once I was satisfied with my seam allowance, I cut off the excess fabric. She had to go. She was ruining the vibe in this building, and I needed the yellow fabric to fit together with a brown one, so I was not going to let anyone come between that. And as you can see, they form one top that looks beautiful. So now it's time to go crazy. You can draw out shapes you like. I decided to just have all the curved lines coming out from one point. This did have its upside and its downside, but you will find that out later. And for all the lines, I obviously added in my seam allowance. At this point, the seam allowance is not necessary, so you can skip adding in the seam allowance at this point, but I did it anyway and my top was fine. So if you want to do it like me, feel free to do that. So these are all the pieces, and you're basically going to cut them all out. And this was just easier for me because you're able to cut out a specific piece and add it back in, if that makes sense. So I separated all the pieces. Everywhere there was a seam allowance, I cut through that curved line, and this basically gave me 5 different shapes, or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 pieces. Wow. Math is not my strong suit. So I decided to first replace that brown bit. So I pinned it onto the red t-shirt fabric, and I'm just tracing its shape all around using a piece of chalk. And as you can see, this will give us an exact piece that will go replace the brown piece fabric. So I just found this easier rather than just eyeballing and seeing if the pieces join together to form a top. If you're just cutting and replacing, it's so much easier. So I thought this was the easiest way to do this. If you have another method to do this, feel free to exercise your rights, baby, and do that. So I've replaced the brown piece with the red piece. I'm going to replace that mustard yellow piece with that bright yellow piece. So I just traced the shape on the bright yellow piece of the mustard yellow piece, of course, and I'm just going to trace this so that I have an exact replica. That way, when we replace the children, no one knows what happened. I'm kidding, obviously. So after I traced my shape, I got rid of the mustard yellow kind of piece, and I'm just cutting out the shape on the yellow piece of fabric. This sounds very confusing because they're both yellows, but you can see what I'm doing. And once I had my shape, I replaced her, and look at that, the patches are coming together. So now next is to replace that brown bit, and I decided to replace it with the mustard yellow. So I just traced the shape off camera, and I'm going to cut out that shape, and of course we're going to replace her, and no one will know anything happened. So this is so easy to do. I think it's just time consuming because of all the pieces you have to cut out and join together and just reshuffle your life and wonder why you're forever alone and forever single. But seriously though, all this cutting and replacing made me cut off the toxic friends in my life and replace them with good ones, and my life has been better since this DIY. So for that yellow piece, I decided to cut out a similar red piece, and once the red was was in, everything looked good to me. I felt like the pieces would come together and make a beautiful piece, so I was now going to sew them all together. So you're going to join them on the right sides. So we want the thread to be seen and contrast everything, and I used white thread for this because I felt she was ready to shine and be a new woman. And I'm using a zigzag stitch, so I used a zigzag stitch to join the pieces together. And once I done that, this is what she looked like. I didn't like her so much on her own, so I decided to add in an overlock stitch, and that's basically number 6 on my sewing machine. So it basically overlocks the edge of your fabric, and I really liked the look of them together. I thought they were a perfect match, and I was ready for them to be committed forever. And this is what that looked like once I'd done both stitches. And you're basically going to repeat this for all your pieces. Do a zigzag stitch first, and then do an overlock stitch next. If they don't like it, they just have to deal with it. That's none of your business. And as you can see, the masterpiece is now coming together. So I wanted you to see the overlock stitch in action. I know some people don't understand what the overlock stitch is, but it basically overlocks the edge of your fabric, and I thought this contrasted beautifully with the colors in my top. So once you've joined them together at a point, as you can see, I now have a hole, and this is the downside of having all the pieces coming from one point. If you don't want this, just have your patches in lines, if that makes sense, instead of coming from a point. But I basically just closed that hole using a zigzag stitch on the inside, and once I was done, my top piece was ready. She is ready for the ball. She's ready to be happy and move on from the toxic exes she's been dealing with. And this is what she looked like on the inside. Not so attractive with that point, but hey, gets the job done, and that's all that matters. So now we're going to make the back piece the same way we made the front piece. I had 2 colors, drew out my curved lines, cut them out, replaced the pieces. So I replaced that one with a bright yellow, and I decided I wanted to replace more pieces, so I just drew other curved lines, and this is basically the same exact thing we did for the front piece. So just follow any shape you like, do whatever makes you happy. Life is short. You cannot spend your 100 years caring about what others think and what they do. So I just replaced all the pieces I needed, and I was satisfied with this combination of colors. And now you're going to zigzag stitch all the pieces on the front and also overlock those edges. I felt these pieces were good to go. I was ready to go ask for my loan from the bank. So same thing we did for the front pieces, just join 2 pieces together at a time using a zigzag stitch. This is definitely very time consuming, by the way, because you're basically repeating this process over and over again, and the more patches you have, the longer you will be here, so just bear that in mind. And again, the overlock stitch in all her glory. She's looking good. She really committed to this relationship and came through, and I was really happy with her, and I am currently with her still because she just impressed me. So this is a back piece. That's what it looks like after everything is nice and sewn. And now you have the 2 pieces. You're going to put them right sides together. So this is the only point of the tutorial we're going to be sewing on the wrong side. And this is because I felt it made things easier in the end. So I just pinned all the edges together, and that is the side seams, the shoulder seams. So I just pinned it. This is not hard at all. Just pin the fabrics together. You can cut off the excess fabrics if you need to. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a zigzag stitch down the sides, the shoulder seam, and you will be good to go. So the zigzag stitch is your ride or die in this tutorial. She is there to commit to you and be there for you as a friend, and if need be, she can be there as more. I'm not judging. And this is what the zigzag stitch looked like sewn. And I'm going to cut off the excess seam allowance. This is because she has served her jail time and now needs to go rejoin society as a new woman and be the best person she can be. So I did this for all the sides and the shoulder seam. And once the excess fabric was out, I turned this the right way out, and you are basically almost done. So now I'm just going to repeat the same process on the neckline and the side seams. I ended up not doing the armhole because I felt like I did not want that contrast on my armhole. And that's the beauty of DIY projects. You can just do what you feel like and leave what you don't feel like doing, okay? So I did my zigzag stitch all down the sides and the neckline, and then I went over that stitch with my overlock stitch. Basically the same process we've been doing over and over again. So this is just a very repetitive process, but it will be so worth it. And that's what the side seams look like. I didn't do the shoulder seam and the armhole as you can see, but I really loved this top as is. She was ready to be beautiful and shine, and I was not going to hold her back. So this is a top on. She is beautiful and fabulous, and let me ask you, would you be able to tell this is made from scrap fabrics? I really feel like this is such a unique and beautiful top, and the fact that we sustainably saved the scrap fabrics from the projects, oh my god, chef's kiss. I really love saving the environment where I can, though at this point it's the big corporations that should be making a change. But what do I know, right? I'm just doing my small bit, but they really need to step up their game. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. This top is fabulous. I hope you think it is too, because I would love for you to try this. And guess what? I can also wear the back of this top as a front. We love a versatile piece. We love a top that we can wear to the office and then to our Tinder date, okay? Without anyone knowing we're repeating the same top. So I really love this top. I hope you do too. Please let me know if you do try it. Let me know any other projects you would like to see on this channel. But for now, that's all I have for you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, stay beautiful, and it is time to go crazy with all your scrap fabrics. Have fun and see you soon.